Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how y'all doing this early Sunday evening, late Sunday afternoon? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are once again here live for my live review of yesterday's loud, fun, enjoyable extravaganza WWE Backlash 2024 took place yesterday, May 4th, 2024, at LDLC Arena in Lyon, France. If I'm pronouncing some names right. We're going to go back and talk about this show, talk about, things I liked, things I didn't like, things that were stand out, and just go from there, basically. So, how do I put this? Backlash the past couple years has been kind of like a cool down show from WrestleMania. But what was made up from that, what has kind of made these shows still like a show you will still somewhat remember, is definitely the crowd. Last year, Puerto Rico was, especially coming out of WrestleMania 39, when Vince McMahon took over Monday Night Raw on the Raw after WrestleMania and basically brought us back to the good old days. And it just really, really soured me on WWE. To a point where, I almost pulled the plug again on doing WWE reviews. Because I was not going to deal with it again. I was just couldn't stand the fact that Vince McMahon somehow found a way back to do his madness. But now he's totally gone, of course. There's no excuse for it whatsoever. But then, of course, we had Backlash last year that just reminded me that there is a lot of fans out there still passionate about wrestling. And sometimes you just need a show that may not have, the best matches of the year or stuff that you're going to remember for a long time. But just at least remember the fact that there's still passionate wrestling fans out there. And some of these crowds just really, really make the show. They could steal the show. They could steal the show and actually, more than the actual wrestling matches. Not saying the wrestling on the show is bad. It was not. Again, though, if you take the crowd out, the show is exactly what I thought it was going to be. Just a show with 5, for the most part, solid to good, maybe a few great wrestling matches, and maybe a moment or two there. That's exactly what this was. But again, as I talked about in the SmackDown review yesterday, the crowd for Lyon, France was on another level. It was on a level to the fact that they were sending out you know how you get Amber Alert texts and whatnot? They were sending out warning texts about how loud this event was going to be. That's how insane this 13,000 crowd was. And we'll get to some of the entrances, some of the people they serenaded, or of course my entrance of the night for sure was Jey Uso's. So much so that I thought they were going to pull an audible and give the belt to Jey Uso. They didn't, but so much so that I'm like, there's no way you can't deny a chance to put a belt on someone like this. But, again, like I said, wrestling-wise, it was fine. Nothing that I'm gonna remember in years to come. But again, the crowd itself was awesome. And that's what Backlash has been back-to-back years. An overseas show where you have good, solid to good wrestling, but it's more so remembered for the crowd. It's just a show to remind you that people out there just love wrestling. And a show more about the crowd than the wrestling can happen at times. So that's something I'm not going to take away from this show at all whatsoever. Would I rank it better, though, than last year's Backlash? Honestly, if I had the choice, I would probably give the edge to last year's Backlash. And the reason why, I felt like last year's Backlash had that little extra punch to it. And what I say by that is probably, well, you had Zelina Vega, who basically got her flowers in her home country. You also had the celebrity match with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. That the match itself was awesome, but adding in, like, you know, the surprise appearances from Savio Vega and Carlito before he came back full-time to WWE, there were some extra little pieces that, based off of the hype from like the press conference, I thought maybe we were going to get like a couple of those moments. Other than, of course, the debut or a return of a now seemingly third Bloodline member for this new Bloodline, there wasn't that extra punch in there. So I can't say I enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed last year's Backlash. I give last year's Backlash just a wee bit of the edge. But this was still good. I would say solid, but again, the crowd maybe, I almost wanted to give this show a B+. But I just couldn't quite pull myself to do it. So I gave this show a B. A fun show, good, made up by the crowd. Wrestling matches were good, most part. The weakest match, I would still say, was the women's tag title match. My match of the night, honestly, probably would have been that opener. Cody and AJ was what I thought it would be. Jay and Damian was really good. The women's championship match at Triple Threat, I thought, was also one of the better matches of the show. I think I mentioned all of them, yeah. So, I'm not going to complain much about it, but like I said, I didn't expect this show to blow the roof off as far as wrestling goes. But we'll get into it. We'll talk about the 5 matches. We'll also, before we get to the matches, talk about also briefly the announcement made as well after the show, as we have an official location for WrestleMania 41. But first, let me check the live chat and see who we got. Looks like we just got Tyler saying Asuka is dead in the water. I have no clue where Damage Control is going to go from here since they all lost the titles. Also, where was Io? Io was not on SmackDown and she wasn't at Backlash. Is Io not allowed to travel out to certain countries or something? Not sure if that's the case. Stuff I was just curious. Jade and Bianca are burning the women's division now. Come back, Charlotte. We have our different opinions there. We'll not go into it. The main event saved this lackluster show, he thought. This was an in-your-house, this was an in-your-house, like, pay-per-view, kind of. It was a great glorified house show, if you want to put it that way, I could probably say. But, again, the hot crowd is what still made it much more enjoyable than it probably should have. AJ and Cody has to keep this feud going to SummerSlam. Don't have Cody face The Rock at SummerSlam. Unfortunately, the long-term story is for him to face The Rock. So this probably may be the last match we get with Cody and AJ. Unless if they have AJ reunite the OC. But why would he reunite with the OC just to lose again, though? So I don't know if they're going to do any title matches. I'm still not sure if they're going to do semifinals and finals or just finals for the King and Queen of the Ring tournament at King of the Ring. So most of the pay-per-view, I think, should be taken up by that, I think. But whatever they decide, we'll have to wait and see. Before we get into the actual review, though, of the show, it was announced after the show that WrestleMania 41's official location will be Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium, same place as SummerSlam 2021, and it'll be on April 19th and 20th of 2025, which is awesome. Vegas definitely is a place worthy for WrestleMania. I think it's nice. Again, I've been to Vegas 3 times now, as I go there once a year for work now. Will I go to WrestleMania next year? Probably not. Because I have other things on my plate. Things that will be happening around the beginning of the year for me. And again, my fear is that Vegas, although it would be incredible to go there for WrestleMania, I don't think I can afford it, if I'm being honest. Maybe I can, but who knows. But as of now, I'm pretty sure I will not be at WrestleMania in Vegas. But WrestleMania as a show in Vegas, I think is incredible. I think that is going to be incredible to see. I know they were talking about having it later on, which is a little later. It's more like mid to late April. We'll see how that goes down, if they still do Rumble and Chamber, or they add back in like another show like Fastlane or something before then. Who knows? But we'll see how that goes with it being later. I know there was talks of it being in May. I also really thought they were going to maybe pull a curveball and have WrestleMania in like London or something next year. Especially after AEW now has a tradition with All In at Wembley Stadium in London. Why wouldn't WWE want to try to fire back and outdo them? But who knows? But I think that is a great location for WrestleMania 41. At this point, there's no excuse not to do Roman Reigns versus The Rock at next year's WrestleMania. Cody had the moment, and I kept saying, Cody's finishing the story, and Rock and Roman's match to me could not overshadow the other. So next year's main event in Las Vegas needs to be Roman Reigns and The Rock. That's who it's got to be. This is who it's got to be. But just want to get that out there as well. All right, let's start off the review for this show. We opened up with the tag match, and honestly, probably my match of the night. My personal favorite match of this show. The Bloodlines, Solo Sikoa, and the MFT, whatever that stands for still, Tanga, take on a team of Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Now, first off, the entrances. Kevin Owens was serenaded by the crowd this song. Randy Orton, when he came out, the crowd was singing his song word for word, which was incredible. And I think it even got Randy Orton emotional. And I know in my predictions I said one of the possible outcomes I can possibly see is maybe Randy Orton turning on Kevin Owens. After I saw this, I'm like, there's no way you can have Randy Orton turn on Kevin Owens after this. You've already broken his character a little bit with him getting emotional and whatnot. I don't think it's happening. I didn't think it's happening. Of course, it did not happen. But those were incredible to see. And then the Bloodline came out. And the match didn't even start. And the four of them got in each other's faces and they just started brawling. Owens was stunning security and whatnot. I don't think we saw a single RKO, surprisingly, but it was that nuts that Nick Aldis came out and decided to make this an anything goes street fight. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And it was what I wanted it to be. I did kind of hope for blood. We had blood, of course, with that segment with Owens and the Crimson Mask in Pittsburgh. So I thought maybe we would get some blood out of this. We did not. That was a little disappointing, but it was still fast-paced. Use of, like, the tables. They had several nice table spots. Used the weapons very well. Fought into the crowd. You whooped each other with, like, garbage cans. Like, it literally looked like, the Bloodline were destroying them, and Kevin Owens and Randy Orton were like, trying to fight for their lives. Especially Kevin Owens, because they were the main ones that the Bloodline targeted. Randy Orton came out because him and Owens are seemingly buddies right now, and also they both have history with the Bloodline. But they still made everybody look very strong in this match. And it looked like they were going to get the win. I know there was a couple nice looking RKO spots out of nowhere. But then the match ended, well, it looked like I think there was an RKO hit on one of them. Until, I guess he was formerly known as Camacho. But Tanga Leo, what's his name again? Let me see here. He was from New Japan. Where is it? Tonga Loa, whatever his name is, I guess the brother of Tonga, made his appearance, and he costed Kevin Owens and Randy Orton the match. Off that distraction, it did lead to basically Solo Sikoa just taking over, hitting a spinning solo onto Kevin Owens onto a steel chair, and then nailing him with the Samoan spike, and they got the victory. Again, I thought it was a fun, fast-paced, car-crashing match with the heat you just felt between both of the teams, literally trying to just destroy one another. Again, the Bloodline, they're out for blood. And then Owens and Orton were basically like fighting for their lives. But yeah, it was not Jacob Fatu, but we did get Tonga Loa. So I keep hearing rumors that there could be more than just solo Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. Now we got Tonga Loa, and there's some other big, tall Samoan over here about apparently is in New Japan also that could be coming over as well. So whatever this is, they're going to be dominating. And I'm pretty sure this could possibly lead to, because I still thought that the people who were going to win the tag titles off of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller were DIY. What if they give them to this new Bloodline first, and eventually people who dethrone them are DIY? Or DIY could be winning them first, and then lose them to the Bloodline, just so later on get them back? I don't know. But I'm interested to see. I'm liking that. It's making Solo feel like a monster already, as he should be. Basically, like, he's taking those losses and finally saying, I'm done playing, let's get to war, basically. And again, he's just building up the army. And of course, Paul Heyman is just like, still like, not comfortable with this. But also, again, how well is he actually communicating with Roman Reigns? That's still a big, big question there. But we will have to, of course, wait and see. So, the Bloodline won. They dominated. Owens and Orton, looked excellent as well. I still keep hoping that they would someday give Kevin Owens some sort of like a singles rub with a singles title again, but that may be far away down the line. Who knows? But great opener, and again, probably in my opinion, my favorite match of the show. And again, I did love how they serenaded Kevin Owens with his song. And then Randy Orton, they basically sung his song word for word. I thought that was very cool. All right, match number 2 was this women's championship match. The champ herself, Bayley, who I really think they need to change her intro graphics. It's the same once they were to the heel, and I hate how it just says Bayley. It's Bayley, not Bayley. Bayley. And I changed the graphic a little bit, like something. There's something new, in my opinion. But she took on Naomi, who had a great pop. And, of course, the ever so popular Tiffany Stratton, who I believe just turned 25. I know her birthday was the other day, because I listened to Chris Van Vliet's podcast when he interviewed her, and she said her birthday was May 1st, because it's right around the time when her and Ludwig started dating, which was May 4th. So it's 2 years since they apparently started dating, so congratulations to them for sure. I also really love this match. This was one of my favorite matches of the show, if I'm being honest. Tiffany Stratton, again, was just killing it in the ring. Probably the strongest of all three of these women. They all put on a great performance. Naomi and Bayley, of course, were super over with the crowd as well. There were some times where I know Tiffany was like really, really dominating. Like she's slamming both women with Alabama slams onto the table. I know there was a time when she went for that prettiest moonsault, and on both of them, as she'd been doing it multiple times. Of course, they rolled out of the way, but Tiffany landed on her feet, did another like backflip to get up and try to continue going. I mean, it's cool she landed on her feet, but Naomi and Bayley, of course, had a nice looking 1D, well 3D, because from the Dudley Boys on Tiffany, which kind of like took Tiffany out of the match. And then it was kind of like a back and forth with Bayley and Bayley just rolled up Naomi to get the victory. Afterwards, Naomi was like, okay, you got me, and they just hugged it out, and that's how it went. So cool with me. Again, I thought it was a great match. All three of these women looked really good. Like, I probably would give it a B+ grade. It was definitely one of my favorite matches of the 5 on this show. Maybe my second favorite, if I'm being honest. The first one was definitely my favorite. This maybe being my second favorite. It was really good. And again, Naomi's looking great. Bayley so far is a strong run as a champion. Tiffany Stratton, I tell you, it really feels like that within the next year, Tiffany's going to be champion. I don't know if they're going to have her win Queen of the Ring, or she could also maybe win Miss Money in the Bank, or both. I don't know which route's going to happen. Because I was for a while thinking with the character change, maybe it could be Candice LeRae being Miss Money in the Bank or Queen of the Ring. But they could give it to Tiffany Stratton if they really wanted to. But we'll see, of course. Who, of course, they give it to further down the line. But excellent match with all three of these women. This next match. Oh, we got to talk about the entrance for this match. Damian Priest, the World Heavyweight Champion. Le Campion, whatever they call it, he's called now. Take on main event Jey Uso for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Match was good. There was some back and forth, some kicking out with the finishers. I also am not the biggest fan of Damian Priest's new theme song. I wish they would give him like either his old one, the da 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 da, or even the last one he just had where it was kind of like a remix to that but just darker. I wish one of those two were his theme song still, but it's this new one with the "All Rise," and I'm just kind of like, whatever. But the two talking points to talk about. First off, it seems like the story they're going here, because Damian got mad when JD got involved, and Finn, of course, tried to help him also. At the end of the match, when Damian did win, afterwards, the Judgment Day started beating down on Jay, but then Damian's like, that's enough! That's enough! I never said I wanted your help. Showing the obvious direction that they're probably trying to turn Damian Priest's face as they're getting ready to split up the Judgment Day, which, again, I'm not opposed. Let's go with that. But if I'm being honest, as much as I did not expect Jey Uso to win this match, I think they should give them the win here. Not just because of how over he is, but, well, okay, that is the case, but especially in France. Let's talk about that entrance. Jey Uso came in through the crowd. Lights went out, came back on. He is in the middle of the crowd doing his raising the roof thing. I felt like I was seeing a more energetic Fireflies of Bray Wyatt's. He came out there, he's getting in the ring, he's like, also like looking into each of like the 4 quadrants or whatever you want to call them of the arena. And he is doing this raising the roof. It literally looked like the entire building was doing it. I don't think one person in that building was skipping out on that entrance. By far the hottest entrance of the night. And I saw that, I'm like, this guy is freaking over. You gotta find some way to get a singles title on him. There is no way Jey Uso can go without a singles title at least one time in his career. Especially with how over he is right now. Because I honestly thought, like, the crowd wants Jey. With this happening, they may pull an audible here. They did not, though. Damian did win. But, man, like, I just don't know when Jey will get that opportunity. Like, again, at some point, he needs to be a singles champion. Heck, he's got to be world champion. He has earned it. The work he's put in since 2020, he's earned it. And he is over, like, beyond hotcakes, in my opinion. But it didn't happen here. But again, it is showing that Damian Priest does not want help. He wants to be able to be known as a strong champion. And he's not happy with the Judgment Day helping him out. So again, it's teasing that breakup. When will it happen, though? We'll have to wait and see. But man, I'm so bummed for Jey. Again, he could have used it here. This could have been the moment, because I don't think someone could ever get a pop like Jey Uso did. And especially, again, the way he entered was just unreal. But we got that there in number 3 for that match. Following that, this was definitely, in my opinion, my least favorite match of the show. This women's tag title match, the Kabuki Warriors taking on a team of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Match was a little sloppy. Especially, I think what hurt the match is there was a spot in the match where, I don't know if there was like a miscommunication or whatnot, but I guess Kairi Sane had, I think it was Jade, down and ready to be pinned. But I guess she missed the tag and she basically got called out on TV by the referee saying that she was not the legal competitor. And I think from that moment on, something just felt a little bit off with the match. It wasn't the talent that, that they're not good, but it just felt like the flow was missing a little bit after that. But eventually, as I predicted, it did lead to Bianca and Jade winning the tag titles, as I expected to do so. Where the Kabuki Warriors are going to go after this, I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. But Bianca and Jade get the victory here. Not much more to say about it. And then the last match of the show was Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. The crowd was hot for both of them. They sung Cody Rhodes' song to the ring. And AJ Styles, I guess there was some French chant about being phenomenal that I don't know the words for because I don't speak French. But it was like like it was going on many times during the match, and it was definitely directed towards AJ. Cody, though, still hot like crazy. But this match was exactly what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't I wouldn't call it a match of the year candidate, but it was a good match. But again, I think just what hurt it that it was too predictable. You knew AJ really did not stand a chance, and he was just there to be Cody's first challenger. Good match, don't get me wrong. Maybe though in AJ's younger days, maybe this could have been a classic or a match of the year. This I just saw as like, again, I don't know if it's because it was predictable or what, but I just like, okay, this is a good first match for Cody on pay-per-view as champion. And in fact, it was. Cody did win by pinning AJ. Only one crossroads he had to use to beat AJ, but it is what it is. I mean, it was still a good match as I wanted it to be. I just wouldn't view it as like a classic or a match that I would like be putting on like my greatest of all time list or something. But still good. I liked it. And then yeah, that's basically it. That's all we gotta say about Backlash. Like I said, hot crowd. Show kind of slowed down a little, I thought, because I think they were at the hottest during Jey Uso's entrance. And I think after that, it's like they kind of died off a wee bit. They were still there, but it just felt like the show took a little bit of like a tone down after that, I thought. But again, crowd is what made this show. Match of the night was still definitely the Bloodline versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, and Tanga Loa, or also known as Camacho, making his return and joining the Bloodline. Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton had a phenomenal match. The good matches again for the title, world titles were good. Again, my weakest was still, Bianca and Jade versus Kabuki Warriors for women's tag titles, but still congratulations to Bianca and Jade. Bianca's now a Grand Slam champion, and Jade wins the tag titles. Still think she needs work though. Again, I still don't think she is as... She's not feeling the hype for me right now. Like, I know she's great, but she's just got to show me she can be great. But I didn't want to go to check out here now, guys. Anything else in the live chat? Let me see here. My match of the night was the main event and possible match of the year. Okay. And watch Jade and Bianca are going to the ones to bury Bayley and take the women's title. You watch. Eventually, well, if Bianca is the one to take the title off Bayley, she'll probably do it as a heel. Jade, though, again, I'm not ready to see Jade be a singles women's champion. I'm really not. Like, I still think, and this is just me, I still think Jade should have gone to NXT first. I honestly still think that's what she should have done. Again, she's gotten better, yes, but she's not... I don't see her yet as the megastar they're making her out to be. But that's neither here or there, not anywhere. And that's for, of course, another day. But yeah, I'm going to check out here now, guys. What are you guys' thoughts on this episode of this show of Backlash, the crowd, match of the night? I gave the show a B. Like I said, I think if there was just one more little moment in there, I probably would have Katie gave it a B+, but wasn't quite there, so B it is. B for Backlash 2024. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content to come to my channel. And follow me on Twitter as well at the Club of the Man 93. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993. And just stay tuned as always for more content to come to the channel. Again, getting more video game stuff knocked out this weekend. Maybe a couple more wrestling topic videos to come as well. Definitely a match card for King of the Ring and King and Queen of the Ring hopefully this week as well. We'll see. And yeah, just as always, guys, stay tuned for more content to come. And definitely give me some Raw and SmackDown reviews in there as well this week. And we'll go from there. So I'm telling guys, go check it out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your day. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!